turn some lights on. We are going to use some equipment this morning, if you have it. If you don't have it, don't worry about it. I do have like a bunch of different options for you. So if you do have some, you're going to need a chair. And if you have some weights, grab 2 5-pounds or 2 8, or we're doing floor work. So if you have a little heavier, 10 12 pounds, that will work as well. So I'm going to grab my weights here and I'm going to get ready. And if you don't have them, don't worry. Like I said, I have some options. If you have an elastic band, you can also have it handy, and we can use it for the leg portion. So I'm going to grab it all and then show you the different options here. Okay. And you're going to need a chair. We're going to use the chair for our warm-up. Good morning, Sue, and bonjour, Carole. Okay. So we're going to use the chair during our warm-up. Have your yoga mat so that you're nice and comfortable for our knee portion. Okay. It's a beautiful cold morning, and so we're going to warm up today. I'm going to do it in reverse, so a lot of the time I'll start with the cardio and finish with the strength. This morning I'm going to use your focus on the strength first, and then we'll finish off with some cardio. So if you know you're running a lot or doing a lot of cardio and you're like, okay, I don't need the cardio today, so you can do that first about 20 minutes, maybe a little tiny bit longer, and then go on with whatever other cardio you enjoy. All right, so we're gonna start with our feet under our hips, and we're just gonna unpeel the heel from the floor and gently press it back. So just always remember to do what you can for today. Listen to your body. If you're feeling a twinge in your elbows when we're doing some arm work or shoulders or neck, make sure you don't push through that. Adjust your form, and if you can't figure out what's happening, then send me a little note and we can review the exercise. Sure, you can send me a little video. So let's lift open together, and you can touch your toes to reset for balance, and we're trying to move the leg in the hip joint here. And let's do the other side. And you can touch to reset as needed. Depending on the days, sometimes one side I need to reset and then the other I don't, and that's okay. And feet a little wider than your hips. We're going to lift our arms up. You're going to relax your shoulders. You're going to rotate one arm forward and the other one back, and then we're going to slowly switch. I want you to go nice and slow here, and just don't go too far at first. Just go to where, okay, this feels pretty much it, and don't force it. And then keep going nice and slow, and you might find that every time you can go a tiny bit further. Let's have a look over the hand that's rotated back, and let's rotate the front shoulder a little bit more if it goes. Now don't push through any pain, don't force it. If you're feeling a little pinch, don't force it, just stop before. Last one. Back to center, give me some wrist rotation. Let's bring your arms up. So as we're bringing our arms up, depending on our shoulder mobility, sometimes our hips are trying to help us here, which is really hard on the low back. So if this is happening, bring your hands in front of your head. Other direction, let's bring it down. Good, let's warm up our fingers. Just move them like you're trying to spray water everywhere. Good, and let's bring it back down. All right, we're going to use the chair for the next one. So if, depending on your flooring, if you have a nice soft flooring, you're okay. If not, put your yoga mat just in front of it, and we're going to kneel in front of the chair. We're going to take our right leg, we're going to bring it in line with the chair here. So you have about a nice 90-degree, and then maybe a little bit more. So you're comfortable. Your toes in the back can be on the floor or extended, that is up to you. I want you to slowly engage that left glute, pushing the bottom of your hip forward, and we're gonna go into the chair. So we're not going into the chair this way. I want you, no pinching into the low back. You're just gonna push gently, getting a little stretch in the front of that left leg. And then we're gonna straighten that right leg in front. You're gonna flex your foot, sending your hips back slowly. Little stretch underneath here, a little rotation of your toes towards the outside, center, foot down, bottom of your hip forward, going into the chair. And let's bring it back, keeping your back straight here. So if I'm curved down, I'm not really feeling that stretch much. If I straighten my back, toes to the outside, it's a little faster for the stretch. So you actually have to work a little bit less. Good morning, Rita. And let's bring it back. Flex your foot, sending the hip back. We're gonna stay on that side. You're gonna make sure that you put your foot on the floor. Lift the same arm in front, so your right arm in front, and then open up to the side and a little further. Good, let's bring it up to the ceiling, back to the center, reach up to the ceiling, and then you're going a little bit over your head. Let's push that hip back, but we're not sinking here. So you're pulling up, a little bit over, and bring it back down, center, relax. Let's do that one more time, up in front. You're opening up the chest a little further, little rotation here. Let's bring it up to the ceiling. Bring your body back to center. Lengthen over your head. Bring it back up and bring it down. Let's do the other leg. So leg in front, pushing the bottom of your hip forward. The first time, that's pretty much all I get. I feel pretty tight here. And then let's straighten the front leg, flex your foot, sending your hips back. Toes a little towards the outside. Back to center, bend your knee, pushing the bottom of your hip forward very slowly. So you can go a little further in the second time. And bring it back, but listen to what your leg is telling you. And toes to the outside. Center and up, pushing the bottom of that hip forward. Good, and one more time, sitting back, toes out. Good, and I'm gonna face you so I don't have to talk to the wall. So up nice and tall, lift your arm in front. Let's open up to the side, so chest is still here, you're opening up the chest, then add the little rotation. Good, let's bring your head up towards the ceiling, bring your body back to center, relax the shoulder, lengthen that side, and over your head, push the hip a little bit and bring it back. Relax, bring it down. Good, relax that shoulder. Let's bring it up. Open a little bit more for that rotation. Bring it up towards the ceiling. Center, lengthen above your head. Hip a little bit more and back up and bring it down and relax. All right. So here, we're gonna go to a standing position. So you're gonna bring your leg is here, bring the other leg up. And we're gonna open up the legs here. So you're wider than your chair. Okay, and then I want you to bend your knees. Back is nice and straight. Hands are on the chair, but they're there for support. You're not leaning on it. You're gonna bend your right knee, and then you're gonna send that hip back. So I'm not pushing it over, I'm pushing my hip back. Nice little stretch between the legs here. Let's bring it back up. Your back stays nice and straight. You're gonna find that stretch a little bit better than if you're rounding your back. And up, and so you're using the chair to help support yourself, so you don't have to think about balance. Then we can focus more on the movement. Let's do that one more time per side. Just gently going over each side. Good, let's bring it back to center. Walk your legs in and then rolling up. We're gonna add a little bit of cardio and then going straight into our strength. So we're gonna have our feet a little wider than our hips, and you're gonna bend your knees and just tap your toes and reaching up. Good. And we're gonna reach towards the upper corner of our space. So going to the upper corner here. Now in that little rotation, I want you to start thinking about engaging the glute. So that rotation forward Hip is rotating forward. Think about squeezing the glute on that side. And reaching up. Watch that it's not the shoulder lifting. So keep your shoulders in place, kind of like you're trying to look over your arm. You're not trying to hide your face. And you're giving me a little rotation here. Good shoulder height with your arms. And arms down. I'm not sure I said it, but I saw your name, so good morning, Rita. Good, and let's bring it back up. Perfect. And all the way up. And next to your head. And last one, and bring it down. So we're starting on the floor with bridge. If you have an elastic band, just put it just above your knees. If you don't have it, no worries. If you have weights, grab the weights. Again, if you don't have weights, I will give you some options that you can use for that. I'm actually going to bring the screen down a little bit for the whole floor sequence because we're going to be on the ground either on our back, belly, or kneeling for the whole sequence of strength. So we're going into, not timed, we're going into reps today. So we're doing bridges, and I'm gonna use some weights for my bridges. Okay, I'm just gonna put the elastic around my knees, so it's there when I need it to demo, but if you don't have it, that's okay. And I'm gonna put, so if you have heavy enough weights, make sure when you're grabbing them on the floor, so that here I have them next to, I'm not gonna reach over here and then try and bring it over. So one on each side, it'll be easier to maneuver. If you have little weights, use little weights. If you have one of those, I'll show you how to use that as well. So here you're on your back in that neutral position. And we're gonna do 12 repetitions, and we're gonna squeeze the glutes, breathing out and lifting up. So we're doing the bridge. So if you don't have the weight, you're gonna lift up and squeeze the glutes and slowly bring it down. If you find the bridge easy, lift one leg up and you're gonna give me 6 per side. Now, if you have weights, then grab your weights, and then here, you're gonna put your knuckles here on your hip bone. So it's not resting on my belly, it's my knuckles on my hip bones, and then we're gonna do the bridge, okay? So that's gonna make it a little harder. And if you don't have weights, you can also use that elastic band on your hip, and you're holding it down, and as you're lifting, it's making it a little harder, so you're not following it, you're holding your arms down. So you're getting a little bit of an arm workout at the same time. So different options, the leg up, or the weights, or the elastic are all making the basic bridge a little bit harder. So I'm gonna go with the weights, and you're gonna have your back in that nice neutral position. Heels close enough to your bum so that you're bringing them close, that you're comfortable, but that's the closest you can get. And your heels and knees are in line with your hips. I'm gonna put the weights on the hips. We're gonna inhale, and on the exhale, you're gonna squeeze the glutes, pelvic floor, and lifting up to about tabletop. Your weight is still in the shoulders. You're not pushing in the back of your head or your neck. Let's inhale down. Exhale up, rolling up. And inhale down. Now at the top, without pushing your belly towards the ceiling, I want you to give a little extra squeeze of your glutes. So I'm not going past tabletop here. This is 4. I know I picked 12 this morning. I wanted to challenge my brain. 5. We're actually doing 12 in the first round, then 10, and then 8. This is 6. So if you're doing the one leg up, switch leg, and rolling up, breathing out, focusing on that pelvic floor in, and squeezing the glutes. So exhale, pelvic floor pulling in, and then squeeze the glutes. Pressing into the upper back. You're not pushing in the back of your head. So this is 10. We've got 2 more. Make sure your legs are staying in line, that when you're at the top, you're not dropping the knees. And 1 more. Good, and we're gonna put the weights off to the side. So just here off to the side and put them on the floor. We're gonna sit up and we're doing quad raisers. So here, the elastic band is not doing anything yet. It's gonna be for the 3rd exercise. So you don't need anything for this one. Your hands are gonna be just next to you here and you're gonna incline forward a little bit. We're gonna point the right foot and then here, we're just gonna lift it off the floor and press it down. And 2, reach, press, up, reach, press, up, reach, press, up, reach, press, up, reach, press, switch leg. Don't worry, we're doing 12 per leg, but I'm gonna switch it at 6. So you're pointing your left foot and you're gonna up, reach, press, 2, 3. So you're doing what you can, lifting that leg. It doesn't have to lift very high. If it doesn't want to lift, as long as you're trying, that's okay. Relax. I just don't want you here because now this is going to be working. And you're going to flex your feet for the next 6. So flex your right foot. You're going to lift, reach, press. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Relax, other side. Flex your foot. Up, reach, press. Reach. 2, that's 3, sorry. 4, 5, 6. Okay, we're going to go on our side here. So that's where the elastic band comes in. If you don't have an elastic band, you can put the weight on the top leg here, which is gonna make things a little harder. And if you don't have a weight, you can have in your head, have resistance here. So we're gonna keep the heels on the floor and in line with your tailbone. On the exhale, so pick up your side here so you're not just all flopped on the floor. On the exhale, you're gonna lift up, making sure you're not pushing the hip back. Inhale down. Exhale, pelvic floor in. Exhale, pelvic floor in. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale up. 8, 9, 10. So even without the elastic, my leg doesn't go that much higher. So here, 11, that's about it. And 12. Okay, so that leg, if it goes further up here, then the hip falls back and then that takes away the purpose of what we're doing. So let's do the other side. You can just roll over and look back and then we're gonna start over. So here, picking up your side, heels in line with your tailbone, we're gonna inhale and on the exhale, lifting up. I find having my hand here on my hip is really helpful in keeping my focus on the hip not moving. And then I get more into that glute area. 3, exhale, pelvic floor in. So here, those exercises that we're doing on the floor are great to help you figure out how the exhale, pelvic floor, or bring it back to that so you can really focus on it. We just have a few more. 2 more. And last one. All right, let's go on our back. We're doing 10 bridges. So if you're doing one leg up, you're doing 5 per side. Grabbing your weights, heels close to your bum, hands on your hips. We're gonna inhale and have issues with neck pain. So really pay attention here as you're lifting up. So just focus on that pelvic floor, and when you get to your top, now check in with where your weight is. Are you pushing in the back of your head? So then relax that and then do that little extra squeeze. And so you're gonna make it to 10, because while I was talking, you probably kept going, which is good. Once you're at 10, you can take a little break. And 8, 9, and 10. Perfect. Let's put the weights down and let's sit up. So here we're going to incline forward, pointing one foot, and I'm going to start with the right. You're going to lighten, left reach, press, up, reach, press, up, reach, press, up, reach, press, up, reach, press. Other side, pointing your foot, up, reach, press, up, reach, press. 3, 4, 5. Let's flex your feet. Lift your right foot up, reach, press it down. Up, reach, press it down. 3, 4, and 5. Left foot flex, up, reach, press. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good, relax. Let's go into the clam. So if you had a easy time with the clam and using the weight, that would not recommend doing that next variation. So if you're using the weight, stick to the floor. If you're using the elastic or no elastic, no equipment, you can go on your elbow here, legs are down, knees on the floor, your heels in line with your tailbone, and we're going to go into a side plank here. And then in this position, we're going to inhale. On the exhale, lifting up. It's challenging a little bit the glute area, and you're working the other side as well. So this is an option. You can stick to the floor. We're at 5. So at any point, if it's too much for your shoulder, just go to the floor. Make sure that you're exhaling, pelvic floor in. Exhaling up, that's why my finger was pointing up. We got 2 more here. Last one. And that's lower, and let's switch side. So even on the floor, you're getting a core workout for this one. Engaging the pelvic floor is going to help you engage the glute area, but also your abs. So even on the floor, maintaining your balance, it's still a core workout. So make sure you're not just flopping on the floor. Let's inhale on the exhale. I'm going to lift up and inhale, exhale, open up the leg. Control the down. Don't just let the elastic bring it down. Control it. Keeping that chest open so you're not collapsing here. Make sure that your shoulder is right underneath your elbow. And in the elevated position, I find if you go too high, you're really going to feel that hip dip down. Last one. All right, and on the floor, and we're going back from the top to our bridges. So hands on your hips, heels close to your bum, and we're gonna inhale on the exhale, we're doing 8. So up, and little extra squeeze. And 2, making sure you're not pushing in the back of your head. 3, and exhale, up. And we're at 6, 7, and last one, 8. Good, and let's put the weights on the floor. We're going to go into that sitting position, legs in front, pointing for 4, And then, so pointing flex for 4. So let's inhale. On the exhale, you're going to lift up, reach, press it down. Up, reach, press down. 3 and 4. Other side. Reach, up, reach, down. 2, 3, and 4. Let's flex your feet. Let's lift up, reach, down. 2, 3, and 4. Other side, flex your foot up, reach, press. I promise there'll be no quad raiser and eccentrics tomorrow. And 3 and 4. Good, let's go on to our side. So remember, you can be all the way down here or up on your elbow, whichever one you prefer. Heels in line with your hips, and let's inhale. On the exhale, lifting up, and next exhale, you're gonna lift that knee up to where you can, and then slowly bring it down. So control the down or add resistance on your way down. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Let's bring it down, and other side. So this is the longest one because we're doing per side, right? So here, heels in line with your hips, your tailbone, and let's inhale. On the exhale, lift. And 4. Think about that pelvic floor in. 5, 6, 7, and 8. All right, let's bring it down, and we can get rid of the elastic if you had that. We're gonna go for our arms next. For our arms, we're gonna be, so I got a couple of variation here. If you do not have weight, you are gonna do the following. So we're gonna be on our back. If you have even if you have a little weight, use that. If you have 2 cans, use that. If you have nothing, arms are gonna be up here, and you're gonna keep your arms straight to bring them behind you. And I want that back nice and straight. So I don't want the chest or the back to pop off the floor. So here, back nice and straight, shoulder blades in, you're gonna go to your max and bring it back for 12. If you have weights, you're gonna grab 1. You're gonna put it over your belly and hold it with your hands here. And we're gonna bend our elbows, bringing the weight just behind here, touching the floor. If you have a little weight, just bend your elbows a little bit more to touch the floor. So set it up above your belly, that way if you drop it, it's not pleasant, but it's not as bad as right above your head, right? So back in that neutral position, we're gonna inhale. On the exhale, we're gonna lighten behind us for 12. So here, if you have little weights, keep the bend in the elbow a little bit less. So we're gonna exhale, bringing it back, pelvic floor in. So I'm gonna test to where I can go here, and if I need to, I can bend my elbows more and just bring it really close to my head. I'm gonna go a little further, working on that, those abs and mobility in the shoulders. And I'm gonna exhale on the way out here, because I know bringing that weight is hard, but actually maintaining your core as you're extending is harder. So we're at 6 and 7. And 8. And 9. Ten. 11. So we should start feeling our triceps a little bit. And 12. All right, now if you have 2 little weights or 2 bigger weights, we're gonna stay here. You're gonna have your weights by your side. If you do not have weights, you're gonna put your fingers together here and you're gonna give me some tricep push-ups. So fingers together and you're coming chest towards the floor, pressing up. Then when we're opening your arms for the next one, you're gonna go wide arms, chest towards the floor, pressing up. You can take those up on the wall as well. So here, if you have weights, even the little one, or if you have the elastic band, you can put the elastic band underneath your shoulders and just hold it up here and do that press up. So elbows are gonna be by your side for this one. So weights are always close to you before you pick them up and when you're lowering them down. I'm gonna lift them up and then I'm gonna stay here with my elbows by my rib cage. I'm gonna inhale and the exhale, I'm gonna press straight up. 2, 3. So add resistance here. If you have like 5 pounds and you're like, this is not enough, then push. Think of somebody holding those 5 pounds. And then push all the way up. Again, make sure you're not pressing in the back of your head here. That you've got your weight in your whole back. Because when we're working, sometimes we have some weird reflex. This is the last one. Good, elbows all the way to the ground. We're gonna open them up to a little below our shoulders. And they're still nice and wide. So here, you're gonna be like this and not like this. And so if you're doing those push-ups, you're nice and wide. Same with the elastic, you're gonna open up those arms, back in that neutral, and we're gonna press up. Now you're gonna watch that your wrists are nice and straight, so they're not bent back, pressing your knuckles to the ceiling, exhaling as you're pressing up. 4, 5, 6, 7. Breathing out as you're pressing up. Pelvic floor in. I like those on the floor. Let's bring the elbows all the way down, then elbows next to your body, then the weights down. So once you're on the floor, I like the fact that your elbows cannot go further, and so you're not gonna risk overextending. If you have a bench press, you can use that as well. You're just gonna have to think a little bit more about that overextension. So here back to our triceps. So if you have no weight, you're gonna add that full extension. Back in that neutral position, let's inhale on the exhale, let's bring it back for 10. Making sure that chest is not opening. So here what I mean by that is when you're going to that extension, I'm gonna go without the weight, the chest wants to lift off, the upper back wants to lift off the floor. So make sure that's not happening. Keeping your chest here. So think about if you had a corset and it's holding it in. So keep going. You're probably close to 10. And you go for 8 here. And 2 more. Last one. This is a great core work as well. Let's grab the weights and elbows by your sides. Are you going for those tricep push-ups? Your fingers are together for 10. Let's inhale on the exhale, up. Now make sure your wrists are not all crooked here, right? So straighten those wrists. Watch that you're not pressing into the back of your head. Now if you took heavier weight and you don't make it to 10, that's okay. This is 10. Good, now let's open to just below our shoulders. Let's inhale. On the exhale, let's press up. Focus on those wrists straight, pressing to the ceiling, nice and controlled on the way up and down, breathing out as you're lifting. Same thing here. If you took heavier weights and you get to 6 or 7 and that's enough, then you can stop there. One more. And if you're counting and your numbers are different than mine, yours are probably right. Okay, one more time for 8. So let's bring that weight to the center and you're going to set it up over your belly, and let's bring it up, and on the exhale we're going to reach back. Now here, if they get a little harder, bend your elbows a little bit more. Keep it close to your head. It's going to make it a little easier. And if that's still too much, then take a little rest. That's because you've done enough. This is 5 and 6. 7 and last one, 8. All right, let's bring the weight down here, and if you have no weight, you're going to go into those push-ups, fingers together with the weights, elbows by your side, and we're going to press straight up as you're exhaling. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then I think when I get to the first 12 at the first round, I'm like, oh, maybe that wasn't enough. When I get to those 8s, I'm like, yeah, okay, that was plenty. And that's pressing up. 2. Breathing out as you press it. 3. So if you're nose push up, you're now in that wide position. 4. Make sure you're not pressing into the back of your head. 6, 7, and 8. Good. Now let's bring it down in control next to you and all the way down. Let's put those weights down. We're going to go into our abs sequence. So we're starting our abs sequence. We're going to start it here in that supine position. So on our back, we're going to bring your knees up. Back is into that neutral position. You're going to either alternate here, nice and slow, or we're going to go together, touching and lifting. Now when you're going down, I don't want that back to lift here. So into that neutral position, we're going to exhale as we're lowering. If you're switching, you're going to pick one knee and you're going to inhale when it's coming in and exhale when it's lowering. So let's bring the legs up into tabletop, back in neutral. We're going to inhale, on the exhale, lower 1 or 2 leg. Inhale up. 2. So if you're alternating, try to go nice and slow, almost the same speed that we're doing with the 2 legs at the same time. So lowering 1 leg, working on that control in the breathing, making sure this is not lifting. And we're trying not to do this. Keeping that 90-degree angle as much as possible. This is 7 and 8. Making sure you can put your hand here. You can have your phone here on camera mode so that it's not filming or anything, but you can see what you are doing. Unless you're watching me on your phone, then that won't work. If you got 2 more. So if you're doing alternating, you're not doing 12 per side. Last one. Good, let's bring the knees in and relax the back a little bit. We're gonna go into a plank. So we're gonna hold the plank for 60 seconds. If you know that 60 seconds for you holding the plank is nothing, then, oh, time just flies. So if you know that 60 seconds is nothing, then you're gonna add a little leg lift. If you know that you have a hard time holding the plank for 60 seconds, then start with it and then drop the knees. As soon as you feel that little twinge in your low back, put your knees down. All right, so let's get going. And you're gonna be into that low plank position and on your toes. And hold, and you're gonna breathe here. So start by focusing on your breathing. Every time you breathe out, you're gonna think of that pelvic floor coming in. You're gonna inhale, breathe out, pelvic floor in. Inhale, exhale, pelvic floor in. Inhale, exhale, pelvic floor in. Now, if that's working for you, you're gonna inhale, on the next exhale, you're gonna lift slowly one leg up. And then you're gonna inhale down, and exhale, other leg up. Inhaling down. Remember, you can go on the knees at any point. We got 10 seconds left. Keep your eyes in front of your hands. And let's lower and go back onto our back. So we're just gonna do those two exercises for our abs because we did some exercise for our abs throughout the whole sequence. So here, let's inhale on the exhale, lift, and then lowering 1 or 2 on the exhale, inhale. Three, and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and one more, 10. Good, 45-second plank. So depending on how that went, you're gonna use kind of the same progression. So holding at first, focusing on that breathing, get ready, and hold. Breathe, eyes in front of your hands. You can be on your knees or you can be on your toes. When you are ready, if that works for you today, you're gonna lift one leg up. You can just hold it, and you're gonna exhale, lifting up. Inhaling down. Don't drop the toes, control all the way down. So you're lifting and controlling it to the floor. You're just kissing the floor with your toes, slowly transferring your weight over. Exhale. It's almost over. And that's it. 45 seconds is over. Back on our back, and we're gonna go into 8. So back into that tabletop position. We're gonna inhale. On the exhale, you're gonna lower. Inhale up. And 2. 3. And 4. 5. 6. 7. And 8. All right, let's bring the legs in and back to that plank for 30 seconds. So 30 seconds is nothing. All right, let's get ready. Elbows underneath your shoulders, on your knees or on your toes, and lift. Now you're gonna inhale On the exhale, pelvic floor in. Eyes are just in front of your hands. You're not looking at your toes. Whenever you're ready, if that works for you today, left one leg up as you're exhaling. And inhale, lowering it down, nice and controlled. Exhaling up, lowering it down. And hold it, breathe, and it's over. All right, so I have a quick cardio. If you don't have time, you can come back to it later. Typically, I plan my stuff really well, but this morning, this is taking a little longer than I thought. So we're doing only 4 minutes of cardio, and it's gonna be a good one though. We're gonna alternate between, burpees and jumping jacks. So we're gonna do it Tabata style. Your burpees can be on the chair here, so you can step or jump them back, step or jump them up and up. On the floor, it's down. You step or jumping back, step, and then you're going all the way to the floor, all the way back up. But you're not doing a push-up here, right? So your knees down, lower down, pressing up. You're on your knees, then on your toes, in and up. Jumping jacks, you can also do tap jacks here. If you're doing jumping jacks, whenever you're jumping, have your phone in front. Make sure you're not jumping, caving your knees in. If you see that happen a little bit, keep them a little narrower so you're landing nice and stacked. All right, this is not gonna be very long. We're doing 4 minutes and then it's over for today. All right. Let's get ready. So with the chair or on the floor, and we're gonna go in 2 seconds. Count your burpees. So hands down, stepping or jumping back. Stepping or jumping in to the center. 2, 3, and 4, and last one. All right, so this is it, little break. So whatever you did, remember that. We're gonna try and maintain that for the next one. You can count your jumping jacks if you want. So remember, you can tap them or jump. So nice and stacked. Make sure you're not super soft in the knees. You're landing toes, ball of the foot, barely touching, but touching the heels. And relax, shake it out. Get ready for your burpees. We're gonna count those burpees. If you did 3, aim for 3 or 4. Get ready and go. If you did 4, aim for 4 or 5. If you did 5, aim for 5. 6 is really hard to get in. And this is our last one. Good, and relax. Shake it out. Back to jumping jacks. Relax your wrist. Good, and jumping jacks. If you can't lift your arms super high, keep them in front here. That's okay, or a little lower. So if you're feeling anything in your neck by now, keep those arms a little lower and take the burpees to the chair. Get ready and put your hands down, step and jump back. In, up. Remember your number. Whenever you're putting your hand down, make sure you're not just slamming them on the floor. All right, and break time. Relax. So these cardio, there's not too much to it. Go. Well, they're hard. I'm not saying they're not hard, but we're not carrying extra weights. It's body weight. Not super complicated, because I made your brain work hard enough during the rest of the workout. And relax. We got one more of each, And that's it. Breathe into your nose, out to your mouth. Give me what you can for the next 20 seconds. And go. Count them. Just the fact, even as you're walking, if you're moving your entire body from standing to the ground, that requires a lot of energy. Good, and relax. Shake it out. One more time for our jumping jacks. Keep them narrow, little broken wings. 10 seconds. And that's it. So take a deep breath and breathe into your nose, out to your mouth. And we're going to go into, little cool down. And so just walk around, grab some water if you have it. And feet under your hips, a little wider. You're going to bend your knees, so give me little circles with your hips. Relax your shoulders. Keep breathing in and out. So I will look at the video and write down when you can stop for the 20 minutes. I totally forgot to mention it. So you're going to bend your knees, relax palms towards the front, lifting up. Relax your shoulder, rotating the shoulder joints, sweeping gently forward and lifting up. Breathe out, relax. Open up your palms, opening up the chest. Good. We're going to do that one more time, adding a little bit more to it. Thinking up, pulling yourself down, a little tuck under. Palms towards me, lifting up. Relax. Rotating the shoulder joints, sweeping forward. Relax. Think about your right hand. Reach a little bit towards me, then draw a line in front here. Push your right hip a little bit towards the right corner. Nice little stretch here. And bring it up. And relax. We're going to do the other side. Little tuck under. You're going to reach forward with your left, drawing that line. Good. Reach a little bit more. Push the hip this way. Little stretch here. Bring it up. And open. Good. Let your right arm float up to the ceiling. Relax your shoulder. Bend your elbow. And then your fingertips are towards the wall. Palm towards the floor. I want you to lengthen here and reach a little further with that arm. Good. And just bring it in front. Relax. Open it up. Other side. Gently let your arm float up. Relax your shoulder. Bend your elbow. You got the palm of your hand towards your head. And you're lifting up. Reaching over. Little stretch. Sometimes on this side. On this side, I feel it more on this side. On the other is more in the arm. Relax, bring it in front, and open up. Good, and relax your shoulders. Gonna gently drop your chin towards your chest. Give me a little roll to one side, bringing it back to center. Little roll to the other side, and back to center and up. So different format today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't, that's okay. There's going to be next week back to the cardio first, strength after. So depending on what you like, you can choose your workouts because they're always available to you. So have an awesome day, everybody. Dress well if you're going outside because it's a little chilly. And I'll see you tomorrow for eccentrics or Friday for Pilates. All right, take care.